welterweight champion here at the Tachi Palace Fights. We saw you last time out. You had a big victory over Tim McKenzie. You're fighting again tonight. You know, this is a big experience for you. You become the champion. We had you on last time. You told a great story about your upbringing. I mean, what is going on? You know, what's it been like becoming the champion, moving along in your MMA career?
It's just been amazing. You know, I picked up a split decision over War Machine, and I realized if I could beat that guy, you know, that this is the future for me. This is what I was meant to do, and I just haven't been. Before I was kind of like holding back. Oh, maybe I just for fun or whatever. And now it's like I'm gonna do everything I can in the sport, take it as far as I can. And with that attitude, you know, if you think you can, you know you can, then you will. And that's what I did in the last two fights, finishing the guys in like a minute each and just steamrolling guys, and we plan on doing the same thing tonight.
Poppies Martinez is one of the guys who was pretty vocal after your win last time out. It looked like there was a lineup to get in the cage to challenge you. What's it like dealing with all these guys coming up out of the woodwork after you win a fight to win a championship? It seemed like everyone wanted to challenge you right away.
Well, it's great. I'm glad that, you know, a lot of people in the sport coming up. I'm sure you're familiar with some of these guys that don't have a name yet or whatever. It's almost impossible to get a good fight, to make some money. So just having these guys lining up at the door, it's just excellent. You know, you turn right around and make some cash 2 months later and get your name out there and keep running the record up, hopefully, and just keep winning fights. And I hope they keep lining up, man.
So we go back to Tim McKenzie, your last fight. I mean, veteran of the sport. I expected it to be a tough fight. It wasn't so tough, huh? I mean, it was in and out, like you said. You want to get these fights in and out. Were you expecting it to be that quick?
I had a feeling that once that hit the mat, that, you know, it's like I'm driving a Ferrari and he's driving a Pinto. There's no way he can hang with my jiu-jitsu level, which is just a great feeling because he used to train on my team. He was fighting MMA with the Caesar team, training with Nick Diaz and Jake Shields and Dave Terrell before I even knew what an armbar was. So I was obviously given some kind of gift to be decent at jiu-jitsu and hopefully the whole MMA game. And it was just a great feeling, you know, I felt so good going into that fight that it just felt impossible to lose. I was back in the back about, you know, a couple fights before, and I was pacing back and forth on the mat, and I said, there's no way this guy can beat me. I just kept telling myself, there's no way this guy can beat me. And it just got it done, you know.
Now, this fight, Poppies Martinez, what are your feelings about that? I mean, if you feel that Tim McKenzie can't match up with you at all, obviously you would have to feel Poppies Martinez probably doesn't match up very well with you.
I feel confident going into the fight, but also feel like this guy's the native champ out here. He's been fighting since like '98 or something. He's got 24 fights. You don't do that and just fight. You don't win 18 fights by just purely stucking. The guy's got some skills. You know, he's obviously learned how to win fights. He's dangerous. I can't see him being more of a scrub than McKenzie because I just think that he's going to bring a good fight to me. You know, I predict a submission in the first round, of course. But it's just a great honor to fight him because he's a native warrior, you know. So to me, it's not much different than it would be, you know, 1,000 years ago. We're just coming out here to go to war. This is just a modern version, you know. He's like the warrior from his tribe. I'm the warrior from my tribe, and we're just coming out here to see who's got the best of it tonight. And then at the end, I'm sure we'll shake hands and hopefully have a peaceful night.
Were the hippie tribe that tough back in the day, though?
Well, maybe I'm the toughest hippie warrior ever. Hopefully.
I would put you in that category probably. You were Jake Shields.
Yeah, well, you know, if Jake Shields, you know, I don't know what he's trying to claim or whatever, but for me, I'm actually Jewish, so I think back to, you know, my name David Mitchell, and you know, King David, Slayer of Goliath, you know, Moses, and that's the kind of tribe that I'm thinking of, to be honest, thinking back 5,000 years, and I'm just the next generation of those peoples, and just going to carry it forward and just represent my family and my team. You know, we're like a family now, and never stop fighting for my family. That's it.
Cesar Gracie and David Terrell's camp, I mean, they are tight-knit. You've seen Nick and Gil and Jake and Nate and all those guys. I mean, they stay together through thick and thin. What's it like fighting with those guys?
Those guys are great. You know, that was part of what pumped me up with so much confidence going into the McKenzie fight. I did rounds with Nick Diaz. I did rounds with Jake Shields. You know, I mean, this guy, and then the guy goes out and beats Henderson, you know, and I was doing better than Henderson was doing. You know, I mean, of course, he got that shot in the first round, but you can't but be filled with confidence by that experience. So, and then Dave Terrell is just, I mean, this guy's, he's like a phenom. His hands in, I think he's the best grappler in the world, to be honest, you know.
If the guy could stay healthy, he would be a whirlwind.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to get back in the cage, I'm sure he could go and do anything that he wanted to do, but maybe that's not his destiny. Maybe his destiny is to make me the world champion. That's the way I think about it. So it's a win-win for me. If he decides to get back in there, I'll do everything I can. I'm sure he's going to destroy everybody. Or if he just wants to teach me, I'm going to take that.
Now, what was it like beating Tim McKenzie? Because being a part of Cesar Gracie's and Nick Diaz teams, you don't leave very often on good terms. We've seen Tyson Griffin. We've seen these guys want to fight their ex-teammates, the guys who have left, over and over again. What was it like when you went back to the gym after beating Tim McKenzie? Were they pretty happy about it?
Yeah, you know, I haven't been down to Lodi yet. I imagine that I'll get a hero's welcome down there. I would hope. Maybe they'll make me a cake or something. But you know, at home, I beat the guy. We kind of all knew that my jiu-jitsu is just on another level, and then the way I beat him so fast, it's almost like a letdown or something. Because I trained so hard. I trained for a 25-minute war. You know, I trained for that war that those guys had in Strikeforce. You know, and then to finish it in a minute and 9 seconds, I'm just elated and stoked to be done, and you know, get my check and get out of there. And then about a day later, it's like 2 in the morning, and I'm shadow boxing in my kitchen, going like, you know,
I need more.
And you know, I'm just like, damn. And then I didn't really get to thank my team and my family like I had wanted to. I just kind of was like overexcited. And then Mikey Martinez gets in the cage and starts talking stuff. You know, it's just kind of the whole thing. It was good and bad. I believe that Poppy's going to give me a better fight than that. And I want to fight the best. I want to go to war. I want to take this step to the next level, you know?
Obviously, Mickey Martinez didn't see Jason Mayhem Miller try to do that. Went in there and jumped in the cage and tried to take Jake Shields' moment away from him a little bit.
Well, lucky all those guys weren't here with me.
It's probably good that my team had already scooted out of the cage, and that I'm a peaceful warrior. I'm just trying to hit anybody or whatever. But plus, it probably wouldn't be a wise strategy for me to start a brawl with the Tachi kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
not the right place, Sash.
I got nothing but respect. You know, maybe he had a couple of drinks in him or whatever. It was kind of silly, but he got a little pumped up for this title fight with his brother, and I want to have a great fight tonight, and then I want to hopefully, you know, get another great fight.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before we went on the air, and you know, we were talking about media, and you know, you said this is something kind of new for you. You know, we see it in all athletes, and that's something I always thought. I always thought that possibly a manager should have special coaches to teach athletes how to do this. I mean, we see movies about it and stuff like that. I mean, talk about dealing with the media. I mean, you are the champ now. Obviously, you know, the media has picked up for you a little bit more. And when you go on to the next level, it picks up even more. I mean, could you imagine being Brock Lesnar and Shane Carwin before the last UFC? You talk about media. Those guys are on a media tour for, you know, 30 days, you know, minimum before the fight. Plus, they still got to train. I mean, that's got to be tough. I mean, you're looking ahead and thinking on how you're going to deal with that.
Yeah, in the past, I didn't deal with the media too well because I kind of was just trying to be GQ guy like everybody else and just fit in with the crowd and be the typical MMA fighter, you know, per se, and not really representing who I really am. And I just kind of woke up one day and I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm gonna, you know, speak my name proudly. I'm gonna represent my family and where I'm from, and you know, the travels that I've done and the different things, because I want to share that experience with people because I think it's valuable, and not just because I want to do